G'day. Nathan and Brett here from SEQH. So, say hello.
Good morning.
So, in this video this morning, what we want to do is talk about how we plan for peaks. And this is ever so prevalent right now because we are shifting into what is the Christmas season.
Yep.
Albeit, who knows what's happening with retail and COVID and so forth. But irrespective, we are moving into the Christmas season.
Run up, yeah.
Run up, as well as we're moving into quite a decent looking grain season.
That's right.
As well.
At the same time, yeah.
So what are your thoughts, Brett? How have we historically displayed actions of getting ready and gearing up for the peak season?
Yeah. Right, no, so there's a couple of things. We're a private company, so we have a bit more flexibility. The management and the money are closely aligned. So when we see opportunities and we see these large influx of business coming, we buy equipment effectively. Yeah. We organise subcontractors sometimes. There's a number of things that we do proactively, but I think we're more flexible just because the management and the capital are more closely aligned and they're with the same view for quick decisions. And we can get ourselves in a position to deal with those peaks. And we can see a reasonable grain season coming. So that gets back to our hiring decisions, getting people on, getting them trained up, getting that night shift running on a lot of our equipment.
2 shifts?
Yeah, so 2 shifts on gear that at the moment probably only about a third of our fleet is double shifted.
Yep.
So that gives us a fair bit of flexibility to ramp that up.
Yep.
So that means, increasing hire in our workshop. So our workshop resources are there, allocation staff, booking staff. There's a whole bunch of things across the business we've got to do. And having that alignment in a medium-sized private company is good because it allows us to be very nimble and quick, and we can do that in anticipation, whereas we don't have to go through long board papers, etc. And the divorce between the decision makers and the people on the ground often can be quite stark.
Yeah.
Not so in our company.
And I guess history will show us that if we've had opportunities present themselves, or we've had big seasons present themselves, we work with our customers, and if we're not quite at that point there, we'll gear up further.
That's right.
And we'll grow with our customers.
That's right.
And that's how the company has grown historically too.
That's right.
Some other benefits are we've got the Brisbane depot, we've got the Toowoomba depot.
Yes.
So that in itself, it breaks up the travel times. And we we're talking before about customers that might be further out, such as Gundawindi
or Moree,
approaching Roma and whatnot.
Yep.
And running from Brisbane to that location, you're only going to squeeze one run in. But if you run into problems,
then you've got driver issues, fatigue issues, and the like. Whereas having the Toowoomba depot allows you to break up that transit.
Yep.
It also allows you to tap into more resources, a different driver pool.
Yep.
Different truck pool as well, potentially subcontractors if required.
Yep.
So having a Toowoomba hub and then also allowing A-doubles to run between really gives us the flexibility to gear up substantially to meet those Western Downs, Northern New South Wales customers who have, big export requirements.
Yeah.
So it's a much safer and a much more efficient way to do business.
Yeah, we're not worrying about 14-hour books and things like that.
All that stuff. That's right. Yeah. 14 hours after 14 hours after 14 hours, and you end up with tired and angry drivers.
Yeah, and we don't want
potentially
that.
Fatigued. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the other thing is also the use of bunk trucks as well.
Yes. That gives us flexibility for those long distance, and that goes towards flexibility. Probably not so much in those peak times, but more in the off times. Because again, if you gear up into a peak time, what are you going to do with the equipment post the peak? And that's where we look for flexibility in our fleet so that we can do other jobs when that peak has subsided. So at the end of the day, the worst thing would be parking up a lot of vehicles and trailers in the off season. That just adds up additional cost, and that really doesn't work for us. So we diversify our fleet, and we look at things like putting on bunk trucks, for example, using transi flats, for example, to allow us to tap into a different market when things are quiet here in our main game, which is basically the wharf and the Western exporters. So
and then
it's moving those pieces around and making sure we achieve reasonable utilisation so that we don't, in those off seasons, lose our shirt.
Yep.
But that's about diversity, about our marketing and sales area, picking up work, but having the trucks that are flexible enough to take up other opportunities in related markets.
Yeah, and you're talking about our different fleets because we've got broken down areas where we have a wharf fleet, local fleet, West fleet, empty fleet, long distance fleet.
That's right.
And so,
Toowoomba fleet, yeah.
you know, and Toowoomba fleet, sorry. And rarely are all of those running red hot all at the same time.
That's right.
And so you might have peaks in certain divisions, and we'll shift
those resources.
We'll shift those resources, bring the resources to where those demands are to make sure we're not letting customers down.
That's right. And it's also that having that flexibility in the fleet so that they can swap.
Yeah.
You know, you haven't bought a truck that's just suitable for one particular purpose.
No, communication.
So, so it's got to be able to be moved around. And it's got to have the flexibility. And you know, bunk trucks are an example where we've got sleepers on them. So if it is quiet in say our traditional markets, and we can get some business say going to the Bowen Basin. Perfect. That keeps those trucks going.
Exactly.
So that's how we be flexible and look for opportunities, but fundamentally we've got to deal with the peak. The job one for us is dealing with those peaks of our regular customers. When their peak's on, we've got to be there for them. So that's the time they make their money.
Yes.
We've got to be there.
We've got to be there. So we hope that this has been comforting for you. We hope this is for our customers giving you more confidence as well as to the attitude and what we try and achieve behind the scenes. And history will show you that we've risen to the task.
Yeah, we don't let people down.
We don't let people down. We plan ahead. We communicate with our customers.
And we work hard.
Any further questions? Reach out. Thank you.
Goodbye.